welcome back. Now, we're way past the 54 hours that Rand Water disrupted water to allow for maintenance of a pipe. But some very angry people are still without water and they blame Rand Water. eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane is visiting some of those affected areas and she joins us now live for more. Sli, we know that Rand Water has been saying that it let their customers know well in advance that it would have this 54-hour maintenance plan. But residents seem to be blaming Rand Water for what is a municipal issue. What are they telling you where you are right now?
Well, we were in and around some of those areas this morning, Maseko, that have been affected from what looks like water shortages. And this is well after that 54-hour operation by Rand Water in terms of their upgrades to the pipeline system. But however, since then, several areas are still without water. Their taps have actually run dry. But to give us more as to what the issue is, I am joined by the spokesperson of Rand Water, Mr. Justice Mohale. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Operation is done, maintenance has been done, but some residents in Johannesburg still don't have water. Why?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I must say that, yes, in terms of the 54-hour implementation of that augmentation project, it has gone well. But unfortunately, around that time, there was soaring temperatures. That really did not play ball. Immediately after we finished, consumption was very, very, very high. And remember, during the implementation of that project, we had to reduce the flow of water in those pipelines so that our people can be able to work. Remember, it was a mammoth task. They had to cut that big pipe. They had to weld. So it was a mammoth task. So we had to reduce the flow of water. So in the process, the pipelines were filled with air, and there wasn't much going into our systems. I'm talking about the reservoirs. So that led to us finding it difficult to raise the water levels because the high-lying areas were struggling, whereas the low-lying areas were receiving water. So the project went well. It was a short, I'll say, short pain, but long-term gain because we augmented the raw water which would be purified at our Vereeniging water treatment plant.
Okay. So some of the residents I spoke to this morning, Mr. Mohale, very frustrated. You know, they have elderly people living with them. They have children that need to, you know, bath, wash their hands, drink water, and they're saying that they're really struggling and they just really want to know when water is expected to return to their taps. Is there a time frame? Is there anything you can give these residents?
What I can say is that I cannot say after 3 hours today there will be water in everyone's tap. But what I can tell you is that yesterday there were lots and lots of areas which did not have water. And this morning when we checked, a lot of areas we were receiving reports that a lot of areas were starting to have water. We have Crown Gardens Reservoir, which supplies areas like Winchester. That one has been struggling to fill. And this morning we checked, we discovered that it was standing at 1 meter head. And when it reaches 1.5 meter head, that's when Joburg Water would start drawing water. And we have communicated this to them to say, monitor the reservoir closely so that you can start drawing water to supply people who don't have water. I must say, the Meredale reservoirs, we have 1 and 2. There are 2 reservoirs there. They have, from yesterday's percentage of 9%, they have significantly improved. This morning when we checked, they were standing at 13 and 14% respectively.
Okay. All right. So no time frames, but are you asking then residents to just be patient at this point?
It's painful to say this. But I must say that I must ask residents who don't have water to exercise a bit of patience and to ask or urge those who have water to use water sparingly, especially those in the low-lying areas, because as humans, as people, when I open my tap and water comes out, I start watering my garden, I start washing my car, and we advise people not to do that because we still have people who don't have water. Please think for those who don't have water, especially those in the high-lying areas, because for them to receive water, we need more pressure. We need to raise the water levels in our reservoirs so that there's enough pressure.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohale.
Okay,
Thank you. That's a comprehensive outline as to where we are in terms of the issue of those that don't have water at this point, despite the maintenance work having been completed. An appeal from Rand Water for those residents to just be a little bit more patient, that the reservoirs are filling up and they are trying to raise that pressure so that those high-lying areas can once more receive water.
All right, Silindelo Masikane, let's leave it there for now.